Hi, I wanted to talk a wee bit about following your passion when you're over 50. And I think this is important because I think that we can have a lot of doubts about following what we really want to do and following our heart and what we've been pulled to do when we're that wee bit older. And certainly I didn't know what I wanted to do at all. I didn't know what my passion was actually until really recently in my early 50s. And I feel really strongly, I really enjoy sitting at the piano and writing songs. And I've had to learn the piano, and I'm still learning very, very much so. But it's just something I really, really love and I want to pursue and to learn. And I think, like many people, when you're over 50, you do have doubts. You know, you think, is this too late? Why didn't I know I had this passion before? You think, is this good enough? Do I sound good enough? Do I look good enough? And all these doubts come into your head. And I was walking along the seafront quite recently, and, you know, just these things coming into my head. And I suddenly got this picture in my mind, this vision of daffodils in my mind, lovely bright daffodils. And it brought a smile to my face. And then something occurred to me, and it was just like almost a bit of a revelation. So my friend has a lovely garden, and he's got this area in the garden where he grows his daffodils. It's against a wall, and the wall's yellow, and it's a very sheltered area with a lot of sun. So there's a lot of sun there very early in spring, almost right at the end of winter, and it also gets the sun early in the morning and for most of the day. So in that area of his garden, the daffodils come up. They're the first thing to come up. They come up with the crocuses and the snowdrops, and it's just lovely to see. So you think, oh yeah, spring's coming and everything. So we always smile, and they're really welcome. So that's lovely, of course. Now in my garden, it's a little bit different. I've got daffodils as well, but my garden's at the back, and where the daffodils they don't really get the sun until later on in the spring, actually a lot later on in the spring, so almost into summer. And then they get the sun then, and then they get the sun during the day, a little bit later on in the day. So what that means is that my daffodils come up much later, almost not till summer. But they're still daffodils. They're still daffodils, they're still beautiful, they make us smile, they are welcome, and we love seeing them in the world. And this came to me, and I thought, this is a message, this is a message. So I would like just to say to MD out there, and I keep reminding myself, if you're a bit older, you're now following your passion, you haven't before, remember the daffodils. If you have any doubts, remember the daffodils and just keep going one day at a time and feel good about creating and also what you're creating and bringing into the world. And I would say as well that it does feel to me like at last I'm allowing something that feels good, that's kind of loving, if you like, just like the daffodils got the energy of life and love into the world, no matter how crooked it might be, because I'm not yet trained or anything, or a musician or anything like that. But I think, hey, daffodils are daffodils, so keep going.